Comedy Film Nerds Podcast.
Well, let's talk about this. Paul, what are sort of your favorite genres of films that you've over the years?
Documentaries is actually my hands-down favorite genre. I've probably watched, in the last 5-6 years, I've probably watched 200 documentaries.
Wow.
Recently, what do you think?
All
you've
on
seen?
candy, which is weird. Yes.
What have I seen recently? Well, I'm halfway through it, but Cries from Syria on HBO is heartbreaking and also informative. I like stuff that tends to be a little darker. But I'm also a huge fan of 30 for 30.
Oh, those are great.
I've only seen one that I haven't liked. I like documentaries about music, especially historical ones like Muscle Shoals. I like ones where they get into the detail of how something was created or came about. There's a really obscure one about the record Apache, which it's called Sample This, and Apache was a flop of an album that
Who did Apache?
I have no idea.
All right.
The Incredible Bongo Band, something like that. And it was a total flop as an album, but when rap became popular, they discovered that it was like a wonderland of potential samples. And it has become the most heavily sampled record in the history of rap. And so they go back and they talk about how this was made, how Apache was made, how it came to be. And there's all this crazy backstory of happenstance where if this had never happened and that person hadn't been there, this wouldn't have happened. And it like crosses with politics and political campaigns. It's crazy. It's crazy. Sample this.
What do you think is what makes for you a good documentary?
Seeing people's humanity like in a way that is real, that isn't afraid to shy away from, well, two things. Either seeing somebody really, really reveal what drives them, or seeing something that's really detailed about a historical event. For me, it's all about the details. Like I watched a documentary called Fastball, and I was so disappointed because they never talked about the mechanics of how to throw a fastball. And I was like, that is the most intriguing
What was it
thing
about
to me. They just interviewed guys who were great fastball pitchers and talked about who the great fastball pitchers were, which is great. But a movie, Knuckleball, is great because they talk about how you throw a good knuckleball. So that to me is, I want the nuts and bolts of a subject matter, whether it's somebody's personality or the arc of their life or the mechanics of something that doesn't have to do with a person.
What are some of the best ones, be they Oscar nominated or not, that you think have come out in the last couple years?
That's a hard one because I have seen so fucking many. I think 13th, yeah. 13th. It is, I think, the most important documentary. I consider myself fairly politically aware, and I didn't even know that this was going on, the things that it reveals. There's a clause in the 13th Amendment that says slavery is now illegal unless you are using it for punishment.
Unless you commit a crime.
And now that corporations own the prisons, they're using prisoners to
As
make
labor.
products for the corporations. I didn't know that.
Which means they need to create criminals
Exactly.
to do their labor, yeah.
And I think I'm probably not that alone in having not known that. Maybe I am. Maybe I was under a rock when this became public knowledge. But I think the more people that see this, the better, because they're going to begin to realize that we have become much more of a corporatocracy than you would think.
Yeah, that's the thing that I love about. We talk about it a lot on this show. Is that I love when a documentary sheds light into either
Brings
something
you into a world.
brings you into a
weren't
world you
aware
weren't aware of, be it a political thing, like I didn't know that law, or just any
of, or
world.
podcasting.
Do you know
Yeah.
what? I think my favorite documentary might be, and it's the only one that I've seen twice, is The Birth of Silicon
Oh, could you
Valley.
hold it? Oh, okay. Never mind. I thought you were going to say earbuds.
Oh, no.
Could you hold it back to the camera?
The Birth of Silicon Earbuds is a fantastic documentary. Seriously, it is. You guys did an amazing job with
thanks.
it. The Birth of Silicon Valley is a PBS in the American Experience series, and it is so perfect in describing not only the personalities of how the digital revolution happened, but the actual mechanics of the transistor, of the integrated circuit. Of all of those things.
But
And
it went
so-
into the mechanics, so it was like you said, it was more
and the
compelling for you.
personalities
Yeah.
and the history. I think it might be the most perfect documentary
Wow.
ever made.
Now, do you like the lighter ones too, like King of Kong, like ones like that?
Absolutely, I
Yeah.
love that one.
Isn't
I
that a
love
great
that
one?
one. Yeah, because it's compelling personalities,
Yeah,
obsessive,
exactly.
obsessive people.
Even though, like, all documentaries are manipulation, even though that one is kind of manipulative, I still loved it anyway. We just saw, we had a filmmaker on. We saw the Colin Hay documentary, which was fantastic.
That was another great documentary. Yeah, we had Nate Gautam on the show, and his
I got to see that.
it's fantastic. We met him up at we had earbuds up at the
Super
night.
nice guy.
Oh,
Yeah.
it
Or
was-
I'm talking about Colin. I haven't
Yeah,
met
yeah.
the
Yeah,
director. Yeah.
and it was really that doc. You love the documentary because if you like music documentaries and the history and all, it's the thing. We talked about it on the show. We're like, oh, it's the Men at Work guy. Like that was our only reference point to this person, and then you learn how that band, where his family moved from England to Australia as part
And
of
his solo stuff is great.
Oh man!
Yeah.
And
It was a whole nother career
You're seeing
that-
this guy in his 60s on the road playing. You see him play at Largo. You see him. It's
Be on Scrubs.
yeah, it's really cool. All right, well that's awesome that you like the docs.